Hello, YouTubers. Since there was so much interest in my pottery, I decided I'll make a video of the process, how it's done, so maybe you'll learn a little bit about clay and stuff that you use for your orchids, you mount them on. So what happens, there's two types of clay, probably more, but we're going to talk about two that we use for orchid mounting. There's a low fire clay, which is your typical terracotta red. What that means, that clay is only fired once, and it's taken to the certain temperature when it still stays porous, and then it's ready to go. There's the other type of clay that I usually prefer. That is a high fire clay, which is basically all the white, different colors of there's a white low fire, but what I use, terracotta is low fire, the other colors are all high fire. So those clays you fire twice. So what you see right now is clay after the first firing, which is 1945 Fahrenheit. Okay, so it's still porous. What I'm gonna do with it, you see, I just got it out, so it's warm. There's a couple of plaques I made. There's one more plaque. I've made this pot. I decided to go pretty. My muse came over, so we created this pot with her. And then I made a couple of these hanging baskets slash mounts. I made a couple of shallow. These are great for bulbophyllums or for bare root. And I also decided to go back and make a couple of mugs. So what happens now, I'm gonna wash it, gonna perfect it if there are any imperfections here and there. With the sandpaper, usually it's done. And then I'm gonna glaze it, and then I'm gonna put it again into my friend kiln. And this first circle takes, so you make it, then you let it dry, usually about 24 hours in our heat, you know, and then it's about 14-hour cycle of that to be fired. So I made these things, they're smaller and cool. They're actually going to somebody. They don't know about it yet, but it's going there. And so 14 hours, then it needs to cool down about another 8 hours or so, maybe more. Then I'm gonna glaze it. This batch will take me probably some 6 hours to glaze. And then I'm gonna put it back in my kiln. And I'm gonna go to the second round of firing, which will be up to probably 2200 Fahrenheit. And then that one is shorter. That one is about 6-7 hours, and then it will cool down for another 8 hours or so. And so just for you to understand that it looks very kind of, I mean, there's of course things that you need to know, but it's a very, very time consuming process as well. So if you ever are at the show and you see hand built stuff, and sometimes people wonder why is it so expensive versus, you know, Home Depot pots. It's just me putting my heart and soul into each piece, not the machine press. And that's why it takes a little bit longer time. So I'm gonna glaze it. Then we're gonna put it with you in the kiln again. And then we're gonna do a kiln opening, which is always the magical moment. Sometimes when you don't expect much, it will be just a crazy wow moment. And sometimes when you think, oh, you've done like an absolutely amazing job, it comes out and it's nothing special. So it's always a surprise in it. And I think that's been long enough speech for you. And let's go to work. So here are some of my totems, all glazed, as you can see. I love to recycle, so I'm using old magazines instead of paper towels. Plus, paper towels are like gold now, so what's gonna happen, because it's glazed, and you know, orchids don't really like glaze, I'm gonna take a sponge and I'm gonna wipe it down. Of course, I'll do it with 2 hands later, but as you can see the result. And what's gonna happen, the glaze only gonna stay in the cracks, and the major surface will be clean and clear. This one actually, I will make sure we're gonna see it after. This is this wonderful shiny dark silver kind of platinum looking glaze, one of my favorite. So this is the next step. By the way, picked up container for my future terrarium project. Need to make a piece, put it in. The problem is I only have 1 orchid for now to put into my terrarium, but that's the beginning. I'm sure Thomas Badja will help me with those little dudes. So this is the next step, glazing, wiping. Some of the pieces will not get wiped. The ones that we want pretty, we'll talk about it in a little bit. But this is the process of totems, okay? So let's do something else. And so we're done with firing. So just to show you, remember the one that I was wiping? That looks really yucky. To really truly see the glaze, you gotta put it in the sun, and you'll see. And so this you can mount inside or the outside, and it's shiny, and it says just one more orchid. And so I made quite a few of totems. You're gonna see all of them going on Etsy. Maybe by the time I'll be done, they will be on Etsy already. Lots of holes. I made some pink, peachy pink for those lovers. Just one little basket fit in. High fire, so it will not turn green for you. And also little like a basket looking thing. There's no glaze on the inside. Lots of texture in this one. Couple of, this is pretty, and it's not really a round shape, so it's a nice one. I try to keep them all very different, so if I repeat, sometimes they will be like maybe texture, but the design will be always different. It's a nice green, kind of turquoise. This is for the lavender fans. And this one, this glaze is pretty cool because it has yellow crystals in it. So when it gets into the kiln, the crystals explode and give you this yellow cool accent here and there. And so as you can see, it's all wiped down. It has lots of texture, millions of holes. And orchids love those. This, and then there's darker flowers. There's my special project for my Allen's bowl. Eat with me, Martha. We're sending it to California. He loves Star Wars, so we tried. I'll still add some gold to it and silver. We tried to kind of mimic those colors, and it was hard for me to work with it because I never watched Star Wars. And that one is a very special custom made totem in memory of a very loving pet for a very special lady. She requested the colors. Yeah, if you ever want me to make something for you, you let me know. I can. You just need to have like a concept, okay? Colors, maybe textures. And I don't make them often, but I made one today and I'm pretty happy with it. I made a mug. I used this glaze for the first time. So it's blue on the inside with a little brown. Look at that. It's called Midnight. Isn't that something? Yeah. So there's more stuff going in the kiln, but just for you to understand, from the moment I touch the clay until you see the final, it's about 5 days. So the benefits, you will be the lucky only owner of that piece, because if it's made hand built for you, oi, boom, then you cannot make another piece like that. Then it made always with love for you. So like I said, this is a high fire. Why do I prefer it? Because I think it's stronger, it lives longer, it doesn't get green, and it's just sturdier. This mug I made, and it, like I said, there could be sometimes surprises. Okay, everything was good, then I decided to do this. Go figure. We'll figure it out. It may be my cup now. So until the next time, I'm gonna make this little short video for you so that you know how all this process works. And there's one I am trying like different ways of like mounting experimental pieces. So thank you so much. Kinda covered this firing. You guys stay safe. I'm trying to entertain you, show you different stuff. Next video we'll do maybe garden walk or something. We finally need to talk about fertilizer, because many are asking what am I doing, what is my mom now doing, you know. So we'll talk about that. Okay, so have a great day. Stay safe and healthy. Bye.